And Congress is not going to pass a law. So there's this question of, can Biden do this through executive action? He could try, but we've been hearing rumors, really for weeks now, that Biden is going to do this through executive action. I think the White House at this point needs to either do it or say, we're not going to do it, because this drippiness is just starting to look bad for the White House.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and President Joe Biden is busting out the executive orders and executive actions. However, it is not what we had heard. I'm going to give you all the details. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we had heard from progressives that they had a hit list of executive orders and actions that they wanted the president to pass, especially if they had not passed legislation by the midterms. And Build Back Better has stalled. We've seen pandemic funding stalled, all of these things. And we're hearing that these executive orders and actions are going to be on the way. And we had heard that the first of which was going to be the cancellation of $10,000 of student debt for all those borrowers in the nation. Now, first off, we have to ask the question, let me know your thoughts. If we do this, could we do that for something else? What is the top priority? Should we be passing stimulus checks through executive orders and actions? We've heard there's over $800 billion worth of funds just sitting there. What about those on SSI and SSDI that were promised $200 monthly increases? What about the child tax credits that help lift children out of poverty? What about this student loan forgiveness? Which one should be prioritized, and which one should take precedence as the first one to be done? And will the administration do these things like they had suggested that they would? Actually, their campaigns in many cases were run on promising these would be fulfilled. And yet here we are, not seeing them done. Well, you guys, we're hearing that there is progress, but it is not exactly what we had heard. Take a look at these headlines coming out and let me know your thoughts. Biden administration to cancel $5.8 billion in the single largest student loan forgiveness effort ever. Take a look. The U.S. Department of Education announced on Wednesday yesterday that it will forgive all remaining debt for over 500,000 borrowers who attended or were defrauded by any campus owned by or operated by Corinthian Colleges, a for-profit education chain that closed back in 2015. Now, it says that an estimated 560,000 borrowers will be automatically forgiven of their loans, estimated to be around $5.8 billion. We had heard, though, take a look at this. The action comes as President Joe Biden is reportedly debating whether to forgive up to $10,000 in student loan debt to undergraduate borrowers in federal loans. So that is what we had heard. We saw them take action yesterday on this other provision for $5.8 billion, the largest we've seen so far. That's good, but it is not what we had been promised. Now, I've got some video footage you're not going to want to miss. They're going to be covering the details of this, what the strategy is, what the Biden administration is trying to accomplish, and they asked the question we asked earlier, should they be targeting students to help out with their loan debt forgiveness, or should they be targeting those in poverty, the lower income earners, parents? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. They're going to cover all the details in this video footage. And as I mentioned, the number one most popular, and we heard the one that brought more people out of poverty than any other provision, was stimulus checks. And a lot of people felt like they were promised $2,000 stimulus checks that never came to fruition. Well, we're hearing that if checks do come back, they're going to come back right before the midterm elections. And bills have already been brought to our attention in Congress. Take a look, you guys. If you missed it, check this out. Republican representative pushes for $1,000 stimulus to all Americans, a fourth federal level check from a Republican in the House of Representatives. This just came out less than a month ago. Now, also, we had heard in the Senate, Senator Jack Reed had proposed a fourth federal level $600 stimulus check to be focused on low-income individuals to help out with food and gas. As we're hearing, these high prices, they're not coming down anytime soon, and people are probably going to be needing some help here. Now, also, what about child tax credits? Well, that came to an end with the Build Back Better bill. It is stalled. We're hearing it's coming back, but now it does not include child tax credits. And take a look. States are stepping up as Vermont is now officially sending out $1,000 checks to parents that as the federal government has failed to renew their programs. So let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I've also let you know that here on the channel, I'm going to keep you up to date on all state, county, and city provisions. We are undertaking a massive project to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, because we're hearing that there's tons of checks and provisions available. 90% of the people that are eligible, though, are missing out. That is right, because these various government entities don't know who should get it. They're requiring that you apply, but how can people apply if they don't even know it exists? Well, I am actually realizing this is quite a big project, so please be patient with me, but we're going to assemble this to make sure that you get all the information necessary. I'm actually getting some consulting as well, and I might be hiring some people to undertake this so that way you can get everything that's available to you. So the Ram fam, keep an eye out for that. But you guys, let's dive into the latest on this video footage and articles so that way you know what's going on. But before we do me a quick favor, just takes a second, smash the like button if you appreciate the content, keeping you up to speed on everything going on. Also, share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam, just smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on what's going to be unfolding with the real estate market as we're hearing a recession is on the horizon, how to prepare. We want to make sure that you are in the know. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into the video footage, get you caught up on the latest executive orders and executive actions for hopefully what will be the first of many provisions to help out those in need. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Several reports that said the White House is leaning towards canceling $10,000 in student debt for certain borrowers. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman, who is with us in studio.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
I feel like we've been talking about this for a very long
Too long.
time. What's the very latest from the administration? In what kind of window are we talking about?
So let's just go back to what Biden says he favors. He wants Congress to pass a law that would forgive up to $10,000. Now, obviously, there are some Democrats who want a lot more forgiveness. Bernie Sanders said forgive all student debt. Elizabeth Warren said up to $50,000. And Biden all along has said, no, that's too much. And Congress is not going to pass a law. So there's this question of, can Biden do this through executive action? He could try, and then there might be legal challenges, though there probably is a good chance it would stick. But we've been hearing rumors, I mean, really for weeks now, that Biden is going to do this through executive action. And now that he's not going to do it, there were rumors that he was planning to do it over the weekend, except for the school shooting in Texas last week. So the timing seemed bad. I think the White House at this point needs to either do it or say we're not going to do it, because this drippiness is just starting to look bad for the White House.
Why do you think this is as difficult a decision for the White House as it appears?
Because it's bad policy. This is fairly unambiguous. I mean, among policy experts, this is not even that controversial. So the whole thing, if you forgave up to $10,000, let's say, that would cost around $230 billion, not in 1 year, but over the life of those loans. That's revenue that the Treasury is not going to get. And if you had $230 billion to work with, and you could do that for some kind of subsidy for something, you probably would not target it at people who went to college, or who in most cases are college graduates. You would target it lower down the income chain. I mean, so if you forgive student debt, there's no corresponding subsidy for people who just didn't go to college. They don't get anything. There's no subsidy for people who paid off their loans. And a lot of people struggle to pay for college as they go through. There's no subsidy for people who do it that way. Some people go for 7 or 8 years at night, and they work a job along the way.
And that's the argument, right? Is that if you go for full forgiveness here, it would help those who don't necessarily need it, because it's those, to your point, who are more low income, who
right.
Number one, can't even go to college because of the cost too. I mean, what happens to that? How do you change the system? But what's the other side of this? I mean, if it was such an easy decision, we would have heard from the White House by now. What's the potential backlash if he says we're just not going to go down this road?
There are implications for the midterms.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, so Biden did run on this as a policy. Now, everybody forgets that Biden said Congress should do it. The president should not do it with a stroke of a pen. Big downside for Biden if he does nothing is he's going to lose all support he has among young voters. This is a big deal among younger voters. He did get a reasonable portion of younger voters in 2020, and his approval rating right now among young people is lower than it is among the overall average.
Is it a midterm issue, though,
Absolutely.
when you think about all the other issues on the table?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Biden needs to show that Democrats can do something. I mean, the Democrats really haven't gotten anything done since the infrastructure bill. That was a major accomplishment, by the way. But with Biden's approval rating in the low 40s, that looks terrible that's very bad news for Democrats. So he wants to make it look like they're doing something. I'm not sure it would help in the midterm elections, though, because you're not trying to win over the most liberal Democrats. You're trying to win. You need centrists and independents who might otherwise vote for Republicans. And I'm not sure this issue will galvanize those people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the other point on the low income bit of things, I mean, there is research that shows that the people who are oftentimes the most saddled with student debt are those low income minorities who are trying to go to school to get elevated into the other class, though. So, I mean, it is kind of looped together. But do you think the administration has just kind of fumbled the messaging on that front? I mean, to your point, it seems like it's not necessarily exactly clear who they're going for here.
Right. Oh, they're going for young voters for sure. And I don't want to pretend that this is not a problem for anybody. I mean, there certainly are people who have
the whole generation
who have a lot of debt. I mean, this is the right kind of debt to educate yourself. That's good debt. But some people just have too much, and the people who are hurting the most are the people who took out the debt and never got the degree. That's not forgiven because you didn't get the degree for whatever reason. You still have the debt without the thing that the debt was supposed to pay for.
And the other argument, right, is that it's not just one generation. I mean, there's still people forget, there's still people paying off their student debt.
I have heard from people who are in their 70s who have student debt and are never going to pay it off.
It's a serious issue. It's saddling multi-generations down. But it's just the solution to this is a lot.
Again, if you do it on a one-time basis, what then? Do people then start to take out debt because, the next president will forgive my debt? So then that's the moral hazard argument. So it's a real problem that some people have too much debt, but this is a very ticklish problem.
There you have it, you guys. A lot of good content in that video. Let me know your thoughts. Should they do this? Are they targeting the wrong people? They said that the majority of the people in need are the low income, and they said, but also this is targeting particular voters. Is this the right move? Let me know your thoughts. Should we prioritize stimulus checks, those who need SSI, SSDI? Should we target parents? What should be the primary focus to help out people? Should it be the student loan debt, or are there other things? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This is a very good question, though, as we have to address who is the most in need, and also, unfortunately, when are they going to get this done? Because it's taking quite some time, and are they going to get it done before elections? Well, you guys, I'll be sure to keep you up to date on everything as it unfolds. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, it's totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And we are working on a comprehensive list. We're going to be assembling something massive for you guys so you don't miss out on anything, but bear with me. It is quite the undertaking, I am realizing. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.